Live. Okay, so a few things at the beginning. Yeah, if you have questions, if you can't hear me or you're not totally sure, if you're doing the pose right or whatever, please don't be shy to ask me a question. You're welcome to have video on or off. That said, if your video is on, I can give you more visual support in terms of your posture, if I can see your body. Otherwise, I'm going to do my best verbally to give you as much support as possible. What else? Okay, one more time, just letting people know in case you haven't heard. A large towel is going to come in handy later. Foam roller if you've got one, and or an air-filled ball or even a tennis ball, something like that could be great. Of any size, shape, anything is okay. Great. Okay, hello, welcome everybody. Okay, great. And then what else to say? Oh, any requests off the bat of particular body parts that are sore? My assumptions are that shoulders are gonna feel kind of tight, probably low backs. And then the other thing I wanna make sure we do today is hip flexor, lengthening the hip flexors just from lots of sitting. Any other requests from you guys?
Ruth?
Yes.
I missed the part about music. What do we do about music?
So you can either, if you want to use the playlist I have created, it's here in the chat, or I've just resent it in another login email. So you can use those links to open in Spotify or YouTube. Thank you. This is a good question, relevant for everybody. Otherwise, it's pretty much just relaxing, soothing music. So you can also just hit go on something like that, or you can work in silence. It's up to you. But we are really the first 15 minutes, we're going to do a little bit more mobilizing. So that's when having a little bit of sound and music is going to be a bit more helpful. Okay. Okay, looks like most of us are pretty ready to start. We feeling ready to start for the most part? Okay, hi Catherine, welcome. Welcome Abzo, I'm probably saying that wrong, but welcome. All right, feel free to unmute yourselves if you have questions or you need to speak up or you get lost. We'll probably have a bit of a chaotic beginning and that's okay. All right, okay, so here we go. If you are going to play along with the playlist, let's start to open that up either in Spotify or in YouTube. And we'll hit go at the same time. Again, it's fairly general, so it's okay if you're doing something else or not quite on the same time.
Which playlist are you using on Spotify, Ruth?
It is called 3.30.2020 Stretch and De-Stress. So I'm going to put it in the chat here again, Michelle, and then you should have just gotten another email with that link. But I wonder partially if maybe I got your email in there wrong, because it sounds like you didn't get the other email either. Okay, there's a Spotify one, and here's the.
I didn't get the email either.
You didn't, Lucy? Okay.
No.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
The YouTube in the chat.
I also put them both in the chat here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's give it a start. If anybody gets lost, give me a wave. Okay. Here we go. Counting down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. So the first song is Naturaleza by Danit and Mose or Mose or Moshe maybe. Okay, so like usual, I like to start on the ground. So we're going to do that. If you've got a ball or something that you want to roll with a little bit, you can grab that. But the first thing we're going to do is just head out into your space and we're going to lie down on front or back. Either is fine. Good. Good. And just starting by really lengthening out from your belly through all the limbs, actively reaching out through fingers and toes. Good, and so inhaling and or holding the breath and really reaching, and then exhale and relaxing down into the ground. Good, so again, inhale, reaching out through fingers and toes, really lengthening, really reach actively. Good, and then exhale, relax. Good, and we're gonna do this 2 more times. Big breath in. Really reach out through fingers and toes, reach out through top of head and tailbone. Good, and then as you exhale, relaxing that. Good, and 1 more of those. Big breath in. Reaching out through top of head, fingers and toes, reach. Good, exhale, relax. Great, okay. And then just starting to kind of rock and or shake on the ground. I like to kind of dig my heels in and just gently rock my body. Good, but you can also initiate the movement with your pelvis, kind of rocking side to side. Good, but the idea here is to use as little muscular effort as possible, but just let your body rock, and you can rock quickly or you can rock slowly as feels better for your body. Good, you can kind of rock pelvis side to side, or again, press those heels into the ground and let the whole surface of your body just rock on the ground. Good, okay, and as you're doing this, just start to notice the sensation of contact between the back surface of your body and the ground underneath you. Good, really bringing your awareness to that contact as it shifts gently. If the rocking gets annoying or doesn't feel good, you can just stop and rest into that contact. Good, okay, and now either way, just stopping the rocking for a moment. Good, and really bringing your awareness to the full back surface of your body. Good, sensing the support of the ground underneath your body. Good, feeling how solid it is, how strong it is. Good, inviting your body to feel that support and that stability. Good, inviting your body to feel that ground underneath you, that floor underneath you is solid, as trustworthy, as reliable. And just inviting every cell in your body to feel that support, letting go of any unnecessary holding into that support. Good, okay, great. Let's bring knees up to the ceiling. Good, so still on the back, knees up to the ceiling. Good. Just start to wiggle and press soles of feet into the ground a little bit. Inside edges, outside edges, waking up feet, opening toes, closing toes, scrunching feet, wiggling through the ankle, that's it. So in these first 15 minutes, we want to actually bring quite a bit of exertion to the body. So we want to increase the blood flow. So really squeezing the toes in, really extending them and flexing them, pressing into the ground, massaging the soles of the feet open, wiggling those ankles out. Good, that's it. Pointing and flexing, actively working those feet. Good, okay, and then let's start to kind of just gently rock knees side to side, exploring that range of motion through hips and pelvis. Good, and as you do this, feeling that sensation of contact and support of the ground underneath you. Good, notice as your weight shifts, as your knees move from side to side. So, oups, désolé Chantal, j'ai oublié que tu es ici. Et le français serait une bonne idée. Ok, alors nous sommes sur nos dos et on laisse les genoux tomber de côté à côté et pendant qu'on fait cela, on sent aussi l'arrière du corps en contact avec la terre, avec le plancher. Et notre poids qui change, que le contact de notre corps avec le plancher, que ça change. Good. Okay, and just wiggling hips out any and all directions. Side to side, turning in, turning out, playing with those hips a little bit. That's it. Let the knees fall all the way in and then fall all the way open. Good. And let's drop both knees into the chest. Really squeeze knees in. Good, you guys. Yeah, okay. And then walking thighs out a little bit, seeing if you can keep the legs nice and passive and relaxed. Wiggling knees, walking knees out. Good, okay. And then letting one leg drop down, either knee still bent or straight, doesn't matter, just relaxing one down to the ground, keeping the other leg in and just giving it a rub, bringing blood into the whole leg here. Yeah, so really rubbing the surface of the leg down. So you can get the whole surface behind the knee, shins. Good, and as you rub with hands, also see if you can feel that sensation. Feel for the sensation of your hands on your leg. Good, reaching down to feet, giving them a little bit of a massage. Good, and then let's change legs here as we move into the, if you're on the playlist with us, the next song here is, I just can't quite see it. The next song is Sumeru by Island Man. Good, okay, that's it. Changing legs if you haven't already, giving that a rub down. That's it, blood flow. Where's the blood not flowing so much in that leg? For me, I like to also use my fingers with a bit of firmness and kind of comb the muscle a little bit. Kind of combing the muscle with fingers. Good, so you're also kind of massaging into the tissues a little bit. Good, get into those shins and the lower leg, ankle, feet, toes. Good. Good, okay, and then letting that leg go. Let's work our way up to sitting here. If you want to do a little bit of abs here as we go up, that works too. If you want to do that, let's lengthen legs. Good, find a bit of gentle abdominal engagement. You can do that by thinking of the whole circumference of your waist, drawing in towards the midline, drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Good, and then let's bring hands overhead, bring them up in line with shoulders. Good, and then as they pass shoulders, tuck chin, pull through fingers, and draw up through a curved spine here, all the way up to sitting. Good, okay, and then in this sitting position, just nice and easy shape here. So your legs can be anywhere, that's pretty easy, but just trying to explore and wiggle out hips a little bit in this sitting position. That's it. So you want to play with shifting the pelvis on its axis a little bit, playing with the diagonals. Good, and then let's start to, that's it, play with swaying torso side to side. Forward over the legs. This is just for range of motion. So we're not really going for big stretch here. We're just feeling out range of motion. That's it. That's a kind of gentle, easy, just beginnings of stretches. Great, okay, wonderful. Let's work our way onto all fours here. I'm sorry if your air-filled ball is handy, just put it off to the side. We will get to it. Good, onto all fours. If this is hard on wrists, you can be on elbows. And if at any point you need a break, just take a break. Good, and let's just play with mobilizing the full length of the spine, okay? So all the way from the big curve here, really reaching up with the back of your rib cage, tucking chin in. Good, and then all the way to the full arch. Good. Don't have to hold either one for very long. It's just about range of motion, all big curve, big arch. Good. Good. And then starting to find lateral motion through the spine. So side to side. Ok, désolé Chantal, nous sommes sur les 4 pas ici. Et on commence à vraiment activer, à trouver la motion de la colonne en toutes directions, surtout maintenant de côté à côté. Good. Can you make a C curve to either side, curving ear to kind of side of butt, C curve to C curve. Good, okay, curving, arching, good, wiggling. Good. Okay, starting to slide those shoulder blades over the spine, drawing shoulder blades together, and then pushing into the ground and drawing them apart, circling shoulders. Good. Letting elbows bend, using the pulse of the music, rolling through those shoulders. Good. You can either stay on all fours or come to sitting, but let's really focus on neck here, warming up neck. Activating neck, circling neck in all directions. Good. Careful as you go to the back. You want to think about lifting through the chin. That's it. Breathing into all sides of those upper vertebrae. Good. And just give the face a little wiggle out here. Jaw. Okay. This is the most active song it gets, but this is the peak of our warm up, okay? So you can stay sitting if that's where you're comfy, or you can get up to standing, but we're just gonna do some groovy, silly moves here to warm up a little bit more. Okay, so sitting or standing, finding your own little personal groovy move, ridiculous groovy move. Good, okay, groovy moves with shoulders. Ridiculous groovy moves with shoulders. Nice, you guys. So good. Great. Bring the elbows in. Good. Maybe swaying. Good. Play with that rhythm. Good. Nice. Good. Wrists. And hands. So good. Awesome. Good. Okay, let's do hips, tailbone, hip joints, and tailbone. You can do it sitting or on all fours. Good, nice, you guys. Good, knees and thighs. Good, get those 70 groovy moves going. Yes, good. Good chin. Nice. Back to shoulders and hips. That's it, shaking, shimmy, embracing the goofy. Okay, whole body move, whatever that is, your own ridiculous, goofy, groovy move. Good, different move. Good, come back to tailbone and hips, butt cheeks. Good. Good. Going for a little walk or wander or roll through your space. Good. Embrace your inner Austin Powers. Good. Last little bit. Elbows and knees. So good. Great. Last little bit, actually, thumbs and bums. Butts and thumbs. Okay, great. And just shake that out. Standing or sitting. Big breath in and then. Good. Okay. And then standing or sitting, just brush down the surface of the body as if you could brush off a layer of stagnant energy off. Good. Brushing down. Get the sides of your torso Big exhale. See if you can get your back surface as much as possible. Good. Get your face. Wow. Good. All the way down. Good. And then as you're starting to brush the lower body, working your way back down to the ground. That's it. Awesome. Working your way back down to the ground. Great. Okay, great. We're going to come into the first pose we're going to hold for a little bit longer here is the two knee twists. So probably many of you guys know this. It's a pose that's really wonderful for your central nervous system and many other systems in the body. So we start on the back. I'll show you sideways on the back with knees bent. Oh. Good. Okay. And then we're going to gently engage the abs. So gently drawing belly button into spine, sides of waist in, maybe gently drawing pubic bone to sternum, bringing hands out to either side. Good. Big exhale here. And then with abs gently engaged, letting knees fall to one side. One knee stacking on top of the other. Taking that same hand aside that the knees are on and placing it on top of the knees, letting the head turn the other direction and palm face up to the ceiling. Good. Good. We're going to relax here for a few minutes, okay? Good. So I'm coming out of this shape and you carry on, just so I can see and support if there's any questions or concerns. Good. Okay, so your job now is to let your eyes close. If you're on the ground, just let your eyes close. Good. We really want to start to be relaxed in this shape. Hi, Rosie. There's Poochie. Rosie is saying hello to the camera. Hi, Luna. Great. Okay, we are on Gobi Trail by Ranga, and we are about 3 minutes in. From here on in, it doesn't really matter, though. It's all just relax, easy tunes. Great. Okay, so with eyes closed, so see if you can let your eyes close here. Let go of the video. Imagine the video isn't there. Feel in for the backs of your eyeballs. Feel in for the back of your skull. That's it. Can you let your head relax down into the earth, neck relax down into the earth or the ground underneath you, trusting that the ground you are resting on is through the structure of the building that you're in and the foundation of the building, also connected and supported by the earth. Good, big exhale here. Maybe a few exhales with some sighs, some sound. That's it. Just see if your body can deepen, or can is not the right word here. See if your body wants to deepen into this twist any further. Do those knees want to go sink into the earth anymore? Does that opposite shoulder want to open? Can that head turn any further? Good. And imagining here, not only that your weight is resting down, but as if the ground is gently rising up to meet and support the surface of your body. Good. A few more deep breaths here. See if you can imagine on your inhale that oxygen goes all the way down to the base of the spine to the pelvic floor. Good. If at any point the stretch becomes too much, either through sometimes the shoulder and arm can start to go numb, you can let that arm bend in, or it can be quite a bit of stretch through those external rotators in the glutes. So if it's too much there, you can also, if you lengthen the legs a bit, you're going to get less stretch through the glutes. And or if you want more stretch, you can bend knees up closer into your chest. Yeah, that's it. And see if you can keep relaxing knees over into the ground and keep opening that chest the other direction. Great. Okay, and then we're going to ease out of this. So taking a big breath in, engaging abs and coming back to center. Good. And just pause at center for a moment here. Just feel the back of the pelvis resting into the ground, the whole back surface of your body resting into the ground. Good, and then a breath in to prepare. Engage, gently engage abs, draw the full circumference of the waist in towards the midline, and then knees the other direction. Good, and if knees are going the other way, good, then whichever side the knees are on, that same arm reaches and just put that hand on top of the knees. Use the weight of the hand to help sink the knees into the ground. Again, you're going to get more stretch and twist if the knees are more bent up into the chest and less if they're lengthened more. In a stretch like this, we really want to look for just a light stretch because we're holding it for quite a while. And then, of course, if you feel like you want to go deeper, you can deepen, of course. Good. Head turning to the opposite direction if it isn't already. Good. Feeling that twist through the whole spine. See if you can feel a sense of length. Oh, we have some very loving, caring poochies taking care of their people here today. It's very adorable to see. Feeling length through the whole spine. So even as you relax into this shape, see if you can get a sense of spine lengthening out through top of head, out through tailbone. Good. Breathing all the way down as if you could breathe all the way to the base of the spine. Good. Really, the practice here is shifting your awareness from thinking into sensing. So being as present to the sensations that are happening as possible. Good, and let the breath expand into wherever the sensation is most intense. Let your breath expand into that. You can even visualize fresh oxygen flowing into those tissues and those muscle tissues just gently letting go and lengthening. Beautiful, you guys. Good, okay, and just taking a breath in, gently engaging abdominals and coming back to center. Good, okay. Goodness, time flies. Okay, let's do a little stretch on our backs with this leg, okay? So, or single legs in kind of all directions. So again, drawing one knee into the chest, either side, really with arms actively drawing it in, and let's just take a moment and activate that leg that's long. So actually actively pressing the back of that lengthened leg into the ground underneath you here. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as you draw that knee in. Good, okay, and then relaxing the muscular effort. Excellent, and taking that knee out to the side. Good, supporting it with your hands though, really let it be supported by your hand. Good. And so this isn't so much about it. You may or may not feel much of a stretch here. This is really passive. So you're just supporting it with your hand. I like to rest my elbow into the ground. You may or may not be able to do that. Good. And just letting that leg fall open totally passively. You can jangle it there a little bit. Feeling for where's the edge of your range of motion outward to the side like this. Good. Okay, great. And then still with that leg supported, we're going to gently lengthen that leg. It may not get very straight. That's totally fine. Just as lengthened as it gets comfortably. We're not going to hold this long, just extending through that leg. Good. Reach, 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 reach. Keep anchoring your opposite hip to the ground. So you want to watch out for this hip tilting up and root it down. Good. Okay, let that knee bend again. Let that relax. Just grab your towel wherever it's lurking. Good, and we're going to hook that towel. So it's probably best if it's kind of folded in half lengthwise. So you still have the length, but it's folded in half or in quarters. Good, and tuck it under the heel or sole of foot of that. Good, so it's tucked under heel or sole of foot. Good, and holding that towel in either side. Good, just start to gently lengthen that leg. It might not get very straight, that's totally fine. It could be here, wherever the stretch is for you is where is valuable, okay? It's about you feeling, and you wanna go for just the right amount of sensation. You don't wanna overwhelm your body with sensation. You want enough sensation that there's a stretch, and you want not too much so that you can be fully present to the sensation. If there's too much sensation, it's overwhelming to the system. Good, and again here, breathing into the stretch, feeling how much depth, how much can you listen to the sensation of stretch. Sending oxygen in, see if you can deepen or pull the leg a little bit further. Good, you can either play with increasing the range of motion in the hip joint and keeping the knee slightly bent, or wherever your leg is, you can play with lengthening through the knee and stretching, really going, that's probably going to get muscles, I think it's your soleus, I think, that are your upper calf muscles that cross the knee joint. So feel for what feels more satisfying to you. Good, and just one more breath here, big breath in. Great, okay. Now we're going to take this leg across the body. So still hooked into the towel, start to let it cross over the body. And again, you're going to have to play with the angle that's right for you. It might be lower, it might be higher. Good. Okay, but here, as much as possible, we don't want to let the other hip come totally off the ground. So I'm going to change sides. You can see this from this side, so that you actually get a stretch on the outside of the leg. So you don't want to let this butt cheek totally come off the ground. You want to feel for a stretch. And with this type of stretch, we're actually also getting into the connective tissue, the fascia that's along the outside. So this can be kind of uncomfortable. It can have kind of a sort of feeling, but it's good to do. You can also let your ankle bend a little bit. That's going to increase the stretch on the fascia and through some of the smaller muscles on the outside of the lower leg. Good. Okay, now letting that go, and let's just do one more. You're going to flex at the ankle and draw that knee in, like as if you're in a lunge, but you're lying here. So keeping the shin perpendicular to the ground, using the towel to draw that thigh into the chest. You're going to have to play with where feels right in terms of where that thigh is. Everybody's hip structure is different. Good. Just one last compression here of the hip socket. Good. And then letting that relax. Oh, good. Sorry, while we're here, I'm going to bring us into one more, okay? So let the knee bend. Bend your other leg, the leg that's not in the towel, up. Good. And we're just going to come into a glute stretch here. So crossing that foot that's in the towel over the other knee. to the outside. That's it. So it should be your external glutes, external butt here, getting a bit of a stretch. Good. And you can play with opening that knee, and that stretch is going to move to somewhere else, or you can keep it where it is. For me, I feel a really nice stretch on this angle, but every body is very different. Good. Breathing into that stretch. Oxygen wherever the sensation is most intense. Breathing in there. Okay. Good, okay, good. And then just letting that go, let that go. Let the leg come back to the ground and just give it a little shake out as it comes back to the ground. How are we doing? Okay, great. Okay, and we're gonna do the other leg now. So just starting without the towel, but it nearby. Other leg, drawing into the chest. Actively compressing it with arms, really pulling it into the chest as far as it'll go. Good, and then other leg, the leg that's lengthened, actively lengthening and pressing the back surface of that leg into the ground. Good, you guys, excellent. Good, really see if you can feel that pull of distance, knee into chest, back of other leg into ground. Good, and relaxing the effort and supporting that knee with your same hand as leg, letting it flop out to the side. Good, just exploring that outer range of motion. This isn't about a big stretch. It's just about relaxing in that hip socket. Can you sort of jangle it around? And then starting to breathe into and just gently lengthen and kind of just pulse open the tissues at the front of the hip there. Good. Big exhale here, maybe a sigh. Good. Okay. And then, good. And then I'm pretty sure this, oh, and then we lengthen through the knee. That's it. Good. Okay. So this, not holding this for long, but just starting to lengthen through that leg. That's it. Reach actively. You remember to root the opposite butt into the ground. Use a length through that leg on the ground and out through toes and top of head. Good. Reach, 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 reach. Good. Breathe into the stretch. Reach, reach, reach. Good. Okay. Exhale. Relax. Good. Let's grab that towel. Hook it. Hook the sole of the foot or the heel into the towel. Good. And then bringing that leg centered for that hamstring stretch here. Again, so it's your job to play with where is the right stretch for you today. Is it lower and focusing more on really, really extending through the back of the knee? Is it keeping that knee bent and going for more height with the leg? And then looking for the right amount of sensation. Breathing into that sensation. Letting it be there, sending oxygen in, feeling that sensation of the stretch. Visualizing the tissues of the muscle, relaxing, lengthening, letting go. See if you can give yourself a big sigh here and exhale. Let your body relax into the ground, into the floor. Let the earth support you, the ground support you. Good, okay, and then gently drawing that foot across the body for this kind of uncomfortable connective tissue outside of the leg stretch. Good, and just check in, is anywhere in your body holding tension that doesn't need to be? What about your shoulders? What about your jaw? What about your brain? What about your eyes in their sockets? Can you feel let the eyes relax into the sockets. Let the spheres of the eyes rest into the sockets. Feel for the back surface of the eyeballs. Good. Okay, and letting that go. Good. And coming back to that active lunge with the foot flexed. Good. Last one with the towel here, pressing actively. Good. Letting the ankle flex, drawing that knee into the chest. Good. Opening those hips. Good. Compressing the hip socket. Good. Okay. And then relaxing, letting that go, letting the, oh crap, sorry, I forgot. Drawing that foot across for that outer glute stretch. That's right. Bending that knee up if you want to help catch and support that leg, or you can just keep it in the towel with that external rotation. Let me show you this angle. So right as we externally rotate, good. You can play with different amounts of rotation. You're going to get different tissues stretching in the glutes for this. Good. Let the body be heavy into the ground. Good. Relaxing shoulders, relaxing chest, relaxing jaw. Good. And then relaxing, bringing foot out of the towel, just laying flat again. Good. Let both legs be heavy into the ground and just give them a little wiggle, a little rock side to side. Good. Feel into those hip sockets. Do they feel any different? Can those legs be any more relaxed and heavy into the ground? Great. Okay. Okay, we're going to basically come up to sitting and then go down very shortly, but we're going to do an active up to sitting here. So to transition, we're going to do the same thing we did before. So with legs long on the ground, reaching through toes, bring arms overhead. Then bring with straight arms up past ears so that fingers are up in line with shoulders. Good. Then from here, tuck chin in and lead with the top of your head and reaching through fingers. Drop belly button into your spine. Curve through the spine. And slow roll up to sitting. Good, you guys. Good. Okay, great. And then here, choosing the position of your legs. You can be butterfly if you want. You can be legs in front. You can be legs wide. Go with what, go with what feels compelling to you today. Good. Okay, and let's start by sitting really tall. Let's bring hands up to top of head. And just take a moment and feel the distance between your sit bones, those bones on the base of your pelvis, into the ground and that top of your head. Feel that distance. Good. Okay, and then with hands still on top of head, we're going to do a very slow roll down here, okay? As slow as you can. And the very first step is just relaxing the uppermost joint of the spine, letting the chin relax into the neck and into the chest. So the idea is we want to start to feel a stretch through the back of the neck. Good. You can let your arms relax or elbows relax in, but keep some contact on the top of your head so you can still feel that end of the spine. And you want a sense of leading the roll down with the top of your head. Good. Then letting the head continue to be heavy and curve the spine forward. See if you can let the vertebra gradually unstack with the weight of the head. Good. Only going as far as you can comfortably when you start to feel a stretch. This stretch really gets into a band of fascia, of connective tissue that runs all the way from basically your third eye or between the eyebrows, all the way down the back surface of the body. So sometimes it doesn't take very far in a curve for you to really already feel that stretch. Good. And wherever you feel that stretch in a satisfactory kind of way, pausing there, otherwise continuing to let the weight of the head pull forward and pull forward and pull forward, heavy head. Relax jaw. Relax soft palate of mouth. Relax tongue and mouth.
Relax between the eyebrows. Relax the tongue. Relax the throat. Relax the jaw. That's it. Gravity pulling your weight downward. Feeling the solidity and support of the ground underneath you. Oh, désolé Chantal, j'ai oublié le français là pour une longue durée. Tête est lourde ici. On laisse le poids de la tête étirer le long de la colonne. That's it. Just letting yourself relax into this curve, relaxing in. Letting the distance between vertebrae increase. I'm coming out, but please stay in.
That's it. You stay in. Good. Keep relaxing that chin into the chest. That's it. Whole body relaxing into the curve. Good. Okay. And then as slowly as you can, and head is last here. Let the head stay heavy. Let the neck relax. Let the chest and shoulders relax, starting to stack the spine up to vertical from low. From the pelvis first. Then the low back. Good. Breathe into the distance between the vertebra and the vertebra of the thoracic area behind the rib cage. Good. Beautiful, you guys. Yes. Excellent. Beautiful. And head is last. Good. And see if you can keep a sense of relaxed eyes, just open focus. Feel for the backs of the eyeballs. Okay, how we doing? Okay, great. Okay, now we're going to roll back down to the ground here. So you can do it with legs long or knees bent, but we're going to do a slow roll down. So we're going to kind of reverse the way we came up, starting with belly. Belly button draws into spine and curves, chin tucks in. You can reach forward with hands for counterbalance. That's it. Keep pulling through fingers, rolling down to the floor, and then head is last onto the ground. Great. Okay, and then from there, we're going to roll onto our belly. And actually, I probably should have said this before we roll down, but this is a great time if you've got an air-filled ball to grab it or grab your towel. And after that graceful transition, we're probably all going to need to move around. So that's fine. For this, the towel, if all you have is a towel, no problem. Here's how you want to do that towel. You want to have it lengthwise, either fully or half length, and then rolled. So you've got kind of a pretty tight roll with it, kind of like that. Or if you've got a ball of some sort. And if you don't have either of these or you don't want to bother, it's fine, okay? You're still gonna get something out of this. But we're gonna do a psoas release here. Now your psoas is a very deep, deep hip flexor. So this should also be a more surface hip flexor release, but this is really good at getting in at your psoas, which is a muscle that sits right up against the inner part of your ilium, which is this bone on either side of your pelvis. It's kind of like a bowl shape. It's your hip socket is at the lower part of the ilium, and then the ilium curves up and creates this bone in front, and comes all the way around the side, and the psoas connects in the back. Anyways. Okay, so once you got that, move on to your front. So I'm going to show first with the towel, because I think that's the option most of us have. We're going to take that towel and we're going to put it, so if your ilium is here, that bone, upper bone of the spine is here, you're going to take that towel and you're going to bring it just above that. So kind of in line, center of the towel in line with your belly button-ish, Once we get into the shape, you're going to have to feel out, does it feel right or not? Okay, so you can have it on the ground, and then you want to place your body on it so that it's above your ilium, which is that front side bone of your spine, of your pelvis. Okay, on place la serviette juste par-dessous du haut du bassin. Okay, good. So then once you're over, you're going to take that same leg, that's the same side that the towel's on. So for me right now, towel's under my right side. I'm going to take that heel and I'm going to lift, I'm going to bend my knee. I'm going to show you sideways so you can see better. I'm going to lift the sole of that foot up to the ceiling. Okay. Now you may already feel a stretch here. I do, because my hip flexors get pretty tight. Good. You can be relaxed down for this, or if you need to be up to see, that's fine. Good. So this is already version 1. If you already feel a stretch here, all you need to do is hold here. Otherwise, you can bring this into a more full quad stretch by reaching around with the hand and gently drawing that heel in towards your glute. If you have an air-filled ball, you can have that in place of the towel, nestled above the top of the front of that hip. Good, drawing that heel in towards your butt. Good, breathing into this one. Good, so I'm going to come out just so I can peek at those I can see. Good, and again, sorry, I have my head up, but you can relax down for this. There's also a third option. So you can also play with actively lifting the knee up higher. This is going to activate your hamstring and your glutes, and it's also going to lengthen your hip flexors. You can play with that and or lengthening. Good. And you can also play with shifting the towel to different places, or if you have a ball, shifting that to different places. Good, keep holding. Sorry, I'm coming out just so I can peek. So what the towel does is it increases the length and it helps get into those deeper muscles so that the psoas, which passes again through on the anterior, the front surface of that ilium, and then connects in to the top of the thigh bone, is really being lengthened in multiple ways here. Good. Worst case, just give yourself a nice quad stretch lying on your front. That's just as equally wonderful here. Good, that's it. Breathing into this. Let your body rest into the ground. Check in, is there anywhere where there is holding or tension that doesn't need to be there? See if you can let that go. Beautiful. Great, you can play with different versions. If you've been playing with an active version, you can move to a passive version. If you've been playing with a passive version, you can move to an active version. Good, great, okay, and then let's ease out of that, let that go. Good, we're gonna switch to the other side. So again, shifting towel or ball. On bouge la serviette ou le ballon à l'autre côté. On le met juste par-dessous du haut de l'avant de bassin, just in line with your belly button. Good. And then you let just on half the body. I mean, it's not, yeah, you want it just on the half of the body that you're stretching. Good. And then you're going to bend that heel up towards the glute. Good. And then let your head and chest rest down. Good. You can also play with tilting the heel in and out. What feels better? What feels like a more satisfying stretch to you? Turning the leg out, turning the leg in. Good. Breathing into the tissues at the front of the thigh and coming out, but you stay in. Deep breaths into those tissues at the front of the thigh. Isabella, you have somebody making a bed right next to you, I see, or wanting to play. Beautiful, you guys. Remembering the different versions. So the one version is just that act of just here. You can play with lifting that knee off, pressing hip into ground. Good. You can play with lengthening. You can play with then relaxing, foot into glute, and you can play with different angles of stretch. That's it. How much attention can you give the sensation that you're experiencing? Breathing and softening into the stretch. Good. Here you also want to think about as if the distance between knee and top of head could increase. Good. Just a few more breaths here. Good. Okay. And then relaxing, letting legs lengthen, rock heels in and out. Good. Just relaxing on the front here. Good. Okay. And next, while we're on our front here, we're going to do a sphinx. So drawing in elbows beside the body. Palms kind of in line with the forehead. So les coudes sont à côté du corps, les mains en ligne avec les yeux environ, encore sur nos ventres. Good, and then we're going to take a big breath in, un grand respire. Et quand on expire on the exhale, pressing into whole forearms, palms of hands and forearms into the ground, les mains et le bas des bras qui pousse dans la terre. Good, and lifting that chest. Good. Okay, and in this Sphinx, see if you can lengthen through the top of your head. Feel the crown of your head lengthening away from tailbone. Long, 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 long. Good, and then exhale back down. Good, and just let cheek turn to one side and rest into the ground. Beautiful, you guys. Great. Feel that earth underneath you. Feel that ground. Let your body relax into the ground. Good. We're going to do this again, slightly different variation. Again, though, on va le faire encore, mais à côté environ le niveau des yeux, coude à côté du corps. Good. Pressing into the ground. Lifting up. This time, feel free to come up higher if you want to. If it feels comfortable, you can lift the elbows off. Cette fois-ci, si ça sent bien, tu peux laisser les coudes aussi monter pour que juste tes mains poussent dans le plancher. Good. And then from here, see if you can walk hands back just a little bit. Good, and roll, let shoulders relax. Good, then roll shoulders back and down here. Good, and press into the ground. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. Relax, and it's fine if this is a small range of motion for you, that's fine. Up, back, and down. Good, and just see if you can lift chin a little bit, very gently here, very, very gentle. Vraiment doucement, on voit si on peut encore monter le menton. Good, and then slowly rolling down here. Good work, you guys. Slow roll down. Good. Cheek other way. Letting that upper body rest into the ground. Feel the sensations of the blood flowing through that part of the body. Good, and we're gonna do one more here. It's a little bit of a, yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. Bit of an experiment. So again, hands wider this time. Okay, cette fois-ci les mains plus larges. So kind of elbows out beside the body, full length of the upper arms, and then hands wide. But then let's actually drop the elbows so they're kind of, so pour que nos mains sont en ligne avec nos épaules. So hands in line with shoulders, elbows behind. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, press hands into the ground, but nice wide arms here. Good. Okay, and then we're going to let shoulders, so keeping our elbows lengthened, let shoulders relax in towards each other. So see the difference here. I know it's hard to see with my sweater on, but letting the insides of your shoulder blades slide in towards each other here. Good. So we're really opening. Good. And then pushing into the ground, lifting the chest up, sliding shoulder blades outward. Good. And then slow lower down, all the way down. Good. And again, cheek to either side, just resting into the ground. Okay, great. Good. And then we're going to do one more stretch here on either side for the shoulders. So bringing one arm up on the diagonal. So on étire un bras sur le diagonal, entre comme si, between, really straight up above the head and beside you, the diagonal between that. Good. And then actually let's half that diagonal again so that it's halfway. So if this is 45 degrees between straight up and over, I should show you with this one. So if this is straight up over 45 degrees, and then we're going to go 45 degrees between that. So it's not exactly flat. It's a little bit above flat. Does that make sense? So yeah, but anyways, you can play with the angle. And then with the arm in that place, avec le bras juste un peu plus haut que le niveau des épaules, we're going to start to roll. Take your other hand and roll away from it. So you're not going to get very far here. C'est pas un grand mouvement. C'est juste pour ouvrir l'avant de l'épaule. So it's not going to be a big movement. It's just, and I'm going to show you both directions. Okay, so you keep going on the one side, but I'm showing you the other side. Good. So you're just opening the front of that shoulder. You're not going to go far. You might only be here. That's great. You might just have that other shoulder off. This is about opening the pec minor, opening the fronts of the shoulders that tend to get closed. Good. And then play with rolling the shoulder different directions. So what happens when that shoulder blade, I'm coming out just so you can see what happens when that shoulder blade is rolled down. And then what happens when it's rolled forward. That stretch is going to be very different. So just playing with that, stretching out the front of that shoulder joint. Good. And it's kind of extreme, but yeah, it can be rolled in, or it can be that a shoulder blade can be down the spine. Good, you guys. Okay, relaxing that out, shaking it out. Just shake that arm out, and then now moving to the other side. Maintenant, on va essayer l'autre côté. Encore une fois, le bras juste un peu plus haut que le niveau de l'épaule. Again, arm just a little bit above shoulder length. That's a much easier way to explain it. And then gently turning away and rolling away from that arm to stretch the front of that shoulder joint, playing with having that shoulder blade down the spine and or letting that shoulder roll forward. So jouant avec l'épaule qui étire bas sur le dos ou le laissant rouler en avant. It's going to be good. That's it. Breathing into that stretch. Again, feel into the sensation. Feel the muscles and connective tissues lengthening. Good. Okay, then exhale, release. Good. Just rest on your front for a moment, cheek to either side, and just shake arms out a little bit, rock them out, wiggle fingers, jangle elbows a little bit. Good. Good. Okay. So as we kind of move into the last few minutes of class here, if you have got a roller and you want to use it, go for it and just start to do some rolling along the back surface of your back. So if you've got a roller and you want to just gently roll out your back surface for a few moments here, this is a great time to do that. Good. Otherwise, option B, and or if you don't have a foam roller, we're going to take the towel. Again, fold it lengthwise in half. And then in half widthwise, I guess. and then rolling it up again. So it's the same shape we had it in to do the psoas stretch. Good, so you've got kind of a long cylinder. Great, okay, and then you're gonna place it on the ground. Good, and then you're gonna lie just, which way am I gonna show this to you? I think I'll show it to you this way with my back to you. You're gonna lie with it kind of just behind you, ideally with the base of it near your tailbone and the top of it near the top of your head. It's more important that your head be on it. Well, you can play with different arrangements, but start with your head on it. Okay, and then you're gonna kind of wiggle yourself up to it and then roll yourself onto that towel. Good, and just play with it so that it's along the length of your spine. And if you're rolling, whenever you're ready, joining us in this shape. Good, and then once you're on the towel with it under the full length of your spine, you can play. There are different possibilities. You can have your head on, and if it's not long enough, then your pelvis might be off. That's totally okay. Or you can play with having your head off and your pelvis on. Yeah, for me, it's more important. It feels better for my body to have my head on. Good, and then letting arms open out to either side, about 45 degrees. Okay, so pour cette position, on roule la serviette et on le met le longueur de la colonne. Et après, on se met à se coucher sur nos dos, sur la serviette. Good. Okay, and then this is a very passive shape, so just relaxing your spine on to the towel. Good. If you have any discomfort in the low back, play with opening legs wider and or bending knees up and letting either just leaving knees up to the ceiling, or you can let knees relax in towards each other. Good. Several exhales here. Let your body relax onto that towel. Let head be heavy. Spine be heavy. Shoulder blades relaxing on either side of the towel. Relaxing jaw. Relaxing soft palate. Body heavy into the ground, into the earth. Good, letting whatever sensations are present be there. This is a heart opening pose, so sometimes feeling can come up in this shape. That's okay. Feeling, we want to approach feeling just like we approach sensation. No right, no wrong, no better, no worse. Just how attentively can we listen and be present to it? Trusting that it'll pass through. There may be moments of unpleasantness. That's okay. Can we listen into those? Can we be present to those? Letting the eyes be heavy in the sockets. centered and heavy in sockets. Feel the backs of the eyeballs. Head heavy. Brain tissue, gray matter of the brain, soft, relaxed, weighted into the ground. Jaw relaxed. Throat relaxed. Heart open and relaxed. Front of chest open and relaxed. Again, letting any feelings arise and pass away like weather through the system. Pelvis heavy into the ground, thighs heavy, lower leg heavy, feet relaxed and heavy, ankles heavy, toes heavy. Letting the ground support you. Good if at any time the presence of the towel is too much. No, in fact, now is a good time to come off. So just rolling on to one side, drawing the towel out from under you. But then we are just going to roll back onto backs, back into Shavasana here to rest out. Good. And again, if there's any discomfort in your low back, bend knees up to the ceiling, let thighs fall in towards each other, or play with having legs wider. You can play with both those options. Good. Hands resting somewhere on the torso or open palm up to the ceiling. Whole body, every cell, every living cell in your body, aware of the ground underneath you, feeling that support directly, and surrendering any unnecessary tension into that support. Opening, releasing, relaxing. Letting the sounds of the bells, if you've got that going, echo through. Gently scanning, is there anywhere where tension is being held, and just seeing if you can invite those cells to release, to feel that they too are supported, and to relax into that support. Cells of shoulders, between shoulder blades, of jaw, of heart and chest, of belly. Bye, Yuvika. Sorry, that's right. We're a few minutes over. We're almost done though, you guys. Good, great. Okay. Oh, sometimes Spotify randomly puts on an excellent next song. Good. So just gently rousing yourself a little bit, rocking, wiggling through ankles and toes. Maybe having a yawn and a stretch here. Whatever feels good. Good. And then just gently, slowly. And you don't have to. If you're ready for bed, right out of this, you can either just stay relaxing, stay on the ground, but otherwise just maybe gently working your way up to sitting. You can, but definitely feel free to stay lying down. No need to change positions here. Stay connected to the earth. Great. I just want to say farewell and thank you so much for joining me. If anybody has any questions or wants to say hello or anything, you can just hang on the line. Otherwise, otherwise have beautiful evenings. I hope you sleep and rest well. Thank you. Much appreciation to each of you. Let's do one gesture of appreciation. Okay, so and that can be a move, a shape. It can be, I'm a big fan of the bow. It can be a small bow. Okay, big breath in to prepare. Exhale, finding that gesture of appreciation. Inwards to self, outwards to each other, inwards and outwards to that wondrous source of life, unnameable and indescribable. Good, okay, and then just letting that go. Wonderful, thank you. Okay, we'll see some of you tomorrow morning, maybe some of you on Friday at the dance party. I'm thinking of doing this again, but probably next Sunday night. I think it might be a regular Sunday night thing while we're all still in quarantine. So anyway, stay tuned. Great. If you want to hang on the line to ask a question or say hello or anything, you're welcome to. Yuvika says thank you to everybody. She had to go. Namaste. Bye, Michelle. Thank you for being there.
Thank you. It's wonderful.
Bye. Bye, Chantal. Au revoir. Okay, I'm just going to unmute. Just check in. Anybody have questions or comments or anything? I'm going to mute this, please.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I'm just, whoever's on the phone, I'm just going to mute you. Which is strange because that's my phone number, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Because anyways. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you for coming.
Yes,
Thank you for being here with us. Here, let me
Yeah.
just stop the recording.